What's up guys, Kevin or the Sports Geek here, and in this video I'm breaking down my new FantasyLabs Pro model. It's available to all FantasyLabs subscribers. Just go to MLB Pro Models and copy it over into your own models and you can use it whenever you like. So there's two components to it. There's the batters and the pitchers. I'm going to break down each of them here. Alright, so starting with batters, on the right hand side here you can see the sliders. Starting off, we got Vegas score set to 15 points. I think Vegas score is pretty important just because it factors in the implied team total. So if a team has a team total of 5 or an implied team total of 5 runs, they're going to have a better chance to score runs and drive in runs. So I think that's important to set that decently high. So I've got it set to 15. Then we got weather at 3 points. I think weather does play a factor in fantasy scoring. So I wanted a couple points on that. Lineup order percentile is another one I really like. You want guys who are hitting near the top of the order. They've got the best hitters around them. They can score runs, drive in runs, that kind of stuff. Set that to 10. Park factor. I think this is a cool one that FantasyLabs is doing. I set it to 2 points. You want guys that are hitting in hitter-friendly parks, like the Colorados, the Rogers Center, that kind of stuff, instead of hitting in places like Petco Park or whatever. So I think that's kind of important. It is kind of tied in with Vegas score, so I did just set that to 2 points, but I do like to have a couple points on that. These 4 right here are my main ones for the model. I really like all 4 of these sliders. What I did was I put 15 points on ISO and 15 on WOBA. So I split it up differently. I put 10 points on WOBA month percentile and then 5 points on ISO month percentile. And then I swapped those for long term. So with WOBA percentile overall, I went 5 points, ISO 10 points. I think that's really important, especially for GPPs, which I am mostly playing GPPs. You want guys who can hit home runs, hit multiple home runs in a game maybe, put up big DraftKings scores. So I think ISO is really important too. Long-term ISO is a good one. Moving down here, I skipped over these ones, just personal preference. I think they're pretty good sliders, but you can't include everything with a model. You have to kind of pick and choose. So I went with opponent whip percentile and opponent strikeout percentile, both at 5 points. Again, this is kind of tied into Vegas score. If a team's got a higher implied team total or a higher team total, they are probably not facing a great pitcher, but I wanted to include a couple points on each of these as well. Especially with whip, you want to be on hitters who are going up against a pitcher who doesn't have a great whip. That means there's going to be runners on base, opportunities to score runs and drive in runs. And then again, strikeout percentile, you don't want a pitcher who can strike out a lot of batters. That usually isn't good for scoring runs and usually is a rally killer. So I put 5 points on that. Pro trends is a big one. I really like pro trends, set that to 10 points. I've noticed that if hitters have double-digit pro trends on the day, they usually do pretty well, or a lot of the guys with double-digit pro trends usually have good DraftKings scoring nights. So I set pro trends to 10. Bargain rating 10. So if they're expensive on FanDuel, but they're cheaper on DraftKings, that's going to stand out in the models. I think is really important. Monthly salary change, 5 points. So if a guy is a power hitter and he's normally priced at say 4,000 or 5,000, and now he's down maybe $1,500. Even if he's in a little slump, that might be a good time to take him. So I put 5 points on that. Upside 5 points, just because this is a GPP model. I forget if I already mentioned that, but I'm mostly playing GPP, so I set that to 5 points. We want guys who can put up maybe 30, maybe even 40 DraftKings point scoring nights. So that's it for the hitters, and we'll move on to the pitchers. Okay, so first off, we got the Vegas score set to 16 points. Pretty self-explanatory. We want pitchers who are going against teams with low implied team totals. Pitcher has more opportunity to go deep into ball games and put up bigger DraftKings scores. And then these 2 sliders here are basically ranking the opponent's lineup they're facing. So this is the best when the lineups are submitted, so you know which players are in the lineup. But then we got the opponent team strikeout percentage, opponent team WOBA percentage, set to 6 and 10 points. We want pitchers who are facing weaker hitting lineups. Whip percentile set to 4 points. I don't think it's a huge factor, but I do want pitchers who have lower whips. Strikeout percentile, this is what the model is based around, is high strikeout pitchers. So DraftKings scoring is really heavy for strikeouts. You get 3 points per strikeout. It can really pay off if you get a pitcher who can put up double-digit strikeouts. So I set that to 35 points. We want pitchers who have the ability to put up 10 strikeout games or 15 strikeout games, or 20 if you're Scherzer. So that is set at 35. That is what the model is basically based around, with some other stuff added in. So hard hit differential score, how they're doing recently compared to in the past. So if a pitcher is coming off a good start, maybe 2 good starts, guys aren't hitting them hard. I like that quite a bit for pitchers. I think pitchers can be streaky a little bit. So if their hard hit differential score is good, that usually can mean that they're going to have another good game. So I set that to 4 points. Pro trend rating, again, same with hitters. I find that pitchers that have high pro trends usually have good DraftKings scoring days. So I set that to 15 points. Bargain rating, 5 points, kind of same as the hitters. If they're cheaper on DraftKings than they are on FanDuel, they're going to show up in the model. And it's always good to get cheaper players than the other site, just because it's going to leave you more room for your other players. And then monthly salary change, pitchers that are dropping in price, often a good time to take them. Usually value on a pitcher after he drops. Sometimes DraftKings scoring is weird, like David Price was 8,900 the other day after being at 11,000. So stuff like that will show up in the model. Yeah, that's it for the pitchers, and that's it for the model. So hope you guys enjoy it. Hopefully it helps you win a GBP.